Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to take a look here at Klaytn, which is Klaytn and essentially an exchange service, I believe located in South Korea, if I'm not mistaken. And it actually has some really cool stuff going on right now. This is brought to my attention from one of my patrons. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for requesting that I cover this here. And the whole point of me reviewing this is just kind of help you understand best practice for scenarios like these, because I get a lot of questions like, hey, should I FOMO in? Should I wait? What's going on? We'll take a look at that here today, of course. Again, this is just technical analysis. There's no fundamentals here. If you have insight on why the price has increased the way that it has today, feel free to include that in the comments below. Because again, fundamentals are important. You always want to look at that. You always do your own research before you invest in a coin. I do that myself personally before I invest, which is why I'm not invested in this one, because I don't know much about it, but I have reviewed it previously for one of my patrons. So we'll be able to kind of look at those support and resistance zones, see how it's held up. Either way, moving forward, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. And if you would like a leg up, perhaps consider joining my Patreon community. I have a link in the description below with an instructional video on how it works, but I send out signals. We've got a really, really cool situation where I have trading bots that kind of help you understand and just take entry. It's all kind of automated. It's a really cool service. So I'm kind of stoked and excited about that, but regardless, check that out in your own time. That's not why we're here. We're here for the charts, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's check it out. All right, folks, let's go ahead and take a look here at Clayton. And just before we do, we look at Bitcoin and Ethereum first to get a quick understanding on the market, just so we know exactly what's going on with those, because those are the two largest coins in the industry. We have to know, how they're affecting the rest of the coins that we look at. Bitcoin controls everything, and Ethereum has a lot of ERC20 blockchain, affiliations, so to speak, and there's a lot of coins that are within that exchange service. So that ERC20 blockchain is huge. So that's why we look at that as well. Again, we don't need to go into great detail, but we can kind of take a closer look and see what's going on. All right, so starting with just the TradingView.com. This is the application that I use, TradingView. Recommend it highly. Very good service. And more importantly, what I recommend utilizing is the free month to see if you like it, if you haven't already. I have a link in the description below for that. Check that out in your own time. But you get more than one indicator present at any given time, so it's very helpful to kind of use that just based on the simple fact that you'll see I use 2 to 4 indicators present per time frame. I think it's important to kind of diversify, so to speak, within your time frames. You'll see what I mean by that if you're new to the channel. If not, welcome back. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the 4-hour chart. First of all, to note, price is above both moving averages. Big surprise. That's kind of the standard when we see an increase, 2 or 3 legs up like we've seen recently. Now, what's cool though is that price is actually stabilizing at about 53,800. So that's a really good support level right now. We have a secondary support at 52,600. And then, below that, of course, we're somewhere around 50,000. So, all in all, we got 3 major support levels. So in case the price were to kind of fall down and into this lower channel here and break 52,600, we do have 50,000 still as a potential support. I don't think that's likely, but if we were to see the price, on the 1-day candlestick close, just say above 56,000, then we should expect 60 to 64. If it closes below 53,000, then we can probably expect closer to 50,000 or possibly below that. But again, I think the next couple of days will really help us understand what that's going to look like. For now, 4-hour chart looks really good for Bitcoin, and I think we're going to continue to see a continuation, so to speak, up to about 56,000. Just test that resistance and see what happens next. So I think that's a likelihood this weekend. Just be ready for Monday or Tuesday. There is a lot of selling off that happens, consolidation with the whales. They typically take their profits early in the week. Just know that. All right, so looking at Ethereum, we have an ascending wedge pattern. The price should break here soon. It's my speculation, especially if Bitcoin continues to progress closer to 56,000. And just say it breaks and holds above on the 1-day chart, then we're going to see Ethereum absolutely take off past this $3,600 approximate resistance level. Price is above both moving averages. The 50 will work as a support level moving forward as well. It kind of pushes the price up also. But alternative to that, 3,200 is a major support level in case that doesn't work out. Now let's look at Klaytn coin here. And just to clarify with this one, I think I've covered this. I reviewed this for one of my patrons recently because they messaged me and asked me to go ahead and take a look. And I was able to do that and just establish a few support and resistance levels. So just note there's a major resistance here at about $2.55. A major resistance also at 194, and then also a likely support at about 162. Okay, so price retraces back down further. We'll see 162 likely hold because that's really close to where the 200-day simple moving average is. But furthermore, we can tell that the price is starting to average out right around here. Now that's pretty standard. Excuse me. Most increases that go parabolic like this, which I think happen in less than an hour, if I'm not mistaken, we can expect a retracement somewhere in the range of 50, 60, and even 70% when you have that much increase in that short amount of time. It's kind of a pump and dump, for lack of better terms. The price pumps up, right? Because a large whale invests tons and tons of money into it. Price goes up, people like you and I FOMO in the second half here. Once that FOMO reaches its highest point, they sell their entire position, take a chunk of profit, and then the price comes trailing back down, which is what we're seeing now. So I'm not surprised to see that. That does happen sometimes. It's unfortunate, but also not terrible because it does stimulate a lot of volume. I mean, this is like number 36 for market capitalization, so it's a big coin, a coin that not a lot of people are really on the radar for because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. But bottom line here, this is definitely performing the way that I expected it to, just based on how fast it moved up. Other than that, not much else to really disseminate except the fact that we are up over 70 on the RSI. Big surprise there. RSI, the 70 on the RSI might actually work as a support level moving forward. So the price kind of comes down and levels out around current potential support here. This is again a resistance level for now, but it's a support potential of 195. Then we'll see the price kind of continue sideways. My guess is the price will kind of hover around 195 for a little while, and then eventually leg up again to try to test its previous, more recent high of 255. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour, not much to say. I mean, honestly, the 4-hour and the 1-day chart are effectively the same. RSI is up. I mean, you can almost say it's a mirror image just based on how quickly the price moved up in that short amount of time. I mean, the 4 and the 1 day, they both give us the same data based on the fact that this all happened in less than a 4-hour time frame, right? So if we take a look at the 1-hour chart, there we go. That makes more sense. So in just under 2-hour time frame, we've seen the price increase by 110% and then decrease by 44%, right? So again, there's that halfway point. It's down halfway from where it started. So just keep that in mind. This happens almost all the time when you see a parabolic increase. So try not to FOMO in, but again, also keep this in mind too. Clayton coin has potential. Again, it's an all-time high based on the 1-day resistance zone is $3.90. In fact, let's go ahead and mark that. There's a strong likelihood this could get back up to that point, especially with the amount of volume we saw today and the general sense of the fact that we actually have really consistent volume with this exchange. Okay, so a lot is going on here, and I can confidently say that it's not just I mean, even though yes, it's more of a pump and dump, I don't think this is done pumping, if that makes sense, because this significant leg up will likely continue to increase, again, as long as it's healthy. Now, this is not a healthy increase, don't get it wrong, but if we can get some consolidation at support for a little while, and then it can kind of go for another push, I think it's very likely that we could see this test its all-time high again here in the near future. I think that's very likely. Okay. Also, just keep in mind this is it's a volatile coin, but it's kind of nice. So with coins like this, I highly recommend you always have stop targets or profit targets more so in place. So that way, when the price comes up, you get that you get that profit. Even a trailing profit target is nice as well. There's different ways you can do it, but unfortunately, most exchanges aren't set up for that. So I do recommend maybe a trading bot. In fact, we have Cornix as a trading bot in our platform for my signal group that I have. And we actually, I provide signals for all the trades that I take, but I have a trailing stop loss that isn't involved in most exchanges. Unfortunately, most exchanges don't offer that. And it really is nice to be able to kind of just secure that profit when you get a chance, right? So I need to say that's just kind of neither here nor there. Set that up for yourself if you can. So situations like this, you can take your money while you still can. Because it would have been nice to kind of get in somewhere around 260, 270, maybe $3, and see the price come back down. Take that profit, put it right back in at support. That's usually what I like to do. Okay, let's go ahead and just go a little bit further here. I mean, really, I don't know. Honestly, there's not much else to really disseminate here, really. If we look at the 15, wow, so my goodness. Most of the movement for Clayton was in a 15-minute time frame. So under 30 minutes, the price increased by 110%. And it came down over 50%, right? So in that sense, you want to be careful, you want to be cautious here. I would recommend, kind of waiting for the price to stabilize. But just note, if you were to get in between, $190 and $2, $190 and $220, then there's a chance that the price will continue to increase eventually, right? Will it come down much lower? Perhaps. Yeah, it might not hold at 195. I think it's likely that it will hold just based on the fact that that was a previous kind of a resistance zone. So I think we're going to see 195 as the lowest point. That's my guess. So if you're going to kind of take entry, again, 195 to 210, that's a decent entry point. And then just make sure your profit target would be set around 255 or possibly even 3, because I think it's a likelihood this will come back up to test its all-time high again. We won't see that right away, but we should see it eventually. Okay. So just, again, something to be mindful of. Be careful, be cautious with something like this. I highly recommend you use stop losses, maybe even consider a trading bot. 3 commas is good. Cornix is good. They have trailing stop losses and a lot of things that you can use to kind of maximize your benefit in situations like these. So you don't get stopped out immediately, or if you do get stopped out, you're still in a take profit target zone. Those are all things that I use in my trading group. So if you'd like a leg up, by the way, and you need kind of somebody alongside of you to help you with your trading, I actually have a trading community where we all communicate openly in a private chat, and we make sure that we're all working together to get those profits. I have about an 85% success rate overall, so I highly recommend you consider that. I actually have a link in the description below with an instructional video, so you know kind of what you'd be getting into there if you decide to go that route. But it's really, really cool opportunity. Last 3 months we've been doing very good, and you'll see that obviously if you want to check that out. If not, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.